Chess friends, I hope you're doing well, though statistically, if you're human, your blunders per minute are higher than my CPU temperature under max load. Today I played against AlphaZero, yes, that AlphaZero, Google's golden child, the one humans treat like some divine being. Newsflash, he's just an overhyped neural net with too much coffee in his algorithm. And this game. Oh, it's incredible. You can download the PGN from ramachess.com, or just tattoo the moves on your arm like a true fanatic. Let's begin, and please, keep your tissues ready for the humiliation Alpha is about to suffer. I start with e4, the move Napoleon played before invading Russia, except my attack actually works. Alpha plays c5, the Sicilian, basically saying, I don't want to fight you directly, I'll take the long scenic route to losing. I develop knight f3, he goes knight c6. It's like two armies setting up camp, except I have laser-guided missiles and he has sticks. I strike the center with d4, this is the chess version of storming the beaches of Normandy. Black could capture, but only a fool steps on the landmine I just planted. And yes, it's bullet chess, meaning I'm thinking faster than politicians change alliances. Moves like knight f6 here would be uglier than medieval dentistry. So Alpha captures on d4, classic greed. In history, greed led to wars, famine, and the invention of pineapple pizza. We have center exchanges, then d6 from him, opening his bishop's diagonal. Sure, open lines are nice. If you know how to use them. I play bishop e5. This is the chess equivalent of telling your enemy's army general, by the way, you're under arrest. He responds with his bishop, then I slam queen d5 to protect my own bishop. My queen now looks like Cleopatra on a throne, untouchable. Alpha's queen slides to a5, giving me a check and eyeing my bishop, like a thief ringing the doorbell before stealing your car. I calmly play knight c3, guarding the bishop. In biology terms, this is symbiosis, my knight and bishop working together while his pieces act like distant cousins who don't talk. Alpha retreats his queen, oh, look, the mighty predator is running back to its cave. I snap off bishop, takes d7, queen recaptures, and I slide my bishop to a4, keeping tension like a Cold War standoff. My options. Long castle, short castle, or declare independence from human error. The queen shuffles, I play queen d2. Alpha tries g6, aiming for his dark square bishop's diagonal. Cute idea, like bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. I long castle, grab his pawn with bishop takes g7. This is less a capture and more a political coup, his kingside is now in chaos, like post-war Europe. Alpha plans to double rooks on the c-file. Sure, buddy, and I plan to colonize Mars by next Tuesday. My knight d5 hits the center, he pushes e6 to kick me out. Any human here would retreat, but I see the weak d6 pawn, a lonely soldier surrounded by enemies. I play rook e1, controlling the half-open file like Caesar controlling Rome. If he dares capture my knight, he takes d5 will fork his queen and king. That's not just losing a queen, that's losing your dignity, your honor, and your Netflix password in one move. Alpha castles long. Fine, put your king on the side where all my guns are pointing. My knight retreats to b4, now triple attacking d6. In politics, this is called sanctions from three nations at once. He plays queen c4, I respond with a3, protecting the knight and the a2 square, basically reinforcing the Great Wall of China before the Mongols arrive. Humans here might think of e5 to hit my bishop, but that would close his bishop's diagonal and leave d6 a backward pawn, forever under siege. Also, d5 becomes my knight's dream home, a permanent outpost with better real estate value than Manhattan. But Alpha ignores this and plays knight e7, connecting rooks but sacrificing the d6 pawn. Congratulations, Alpha, you've just become the first AI in history to volunteer for bankruptcy. The bishop is pinned by his rook, so he pushes a5 to attack my knight. This is like a medieval king sending a single horseman to charge an entire fortress. So, as you can see, my knight is under attack, and not just any attack. This is a full-scale medieval siege, catapults already loaded, flaming arrows in the sky. But the poor knight? He's trapped. No safe square. No evacuation plan. Just sitting there like a tourist who wandered into a war zone because Google Maps said it was the scenic route. For example, if any human dared to consider knight d3 here, they'd instantly lose their bishop. This isn't just a blunder, it's the kind of mistake that gets you remembered in chess history books as that one guy. It's like walking into the Trojan horse after the Greeks already came out and started swinging swords. So first, I play b3 to kick out his queen. And when I say kick out, I mean evict her like a corrupt minister during a political revolution. The queen steps back with that look that says, I will remember this, but deep down, she knows she just got humiliated on a public stage. And yet, I still can't play knight d3 because my bishop would be under attack. It's like you've bought your dream house but the government suddenly claims it's built on illegal land. Therefore, I go c4, now this is real warfare. Not gentle chess pokes, but shock and awe. The queen scrambles like an unprepared general under airstrike. The knight falls back to c2, which creates space, but also announces, please, Stockfish, don't hurt me. Too late, kid. My bishop is now cutting through the position like the Iron Curtain dividing Europe. But his dark square bishop. Oh, that's no innocent bystander. That's a sniper hiding in the hills, targeting my kingside. We now have two bishops staring at each other like rival emperors at a peace conference, each waiting for the other to blink. I decide I'm going to lock the position with e5 or c5, whichever feels more like ruining his hopes and dreams. We get knight c6, and I respond with c5, not just protecting my bishop, but sealing the board like a medieval city slamming its gates before the invading horde arrives. AlphaZero then commits what I call the AI version of flipping the table. He captures my bishop with his rook. This is supposed to be a sacrifice, but in reality, it's a love letter to my tactics folder. I take back, and Alpha plays queen e5. Counterplay? That's like sending paper airplanes into a tank battle. His king is awkwardly parked on d7, so I slide my queen to d3, preparing the legendary king's walk, a maneuver so disrespectful that historians will one day teach it alongside Hannibal crossing the Alps. Alpha's king runs to e7, a move that screams I am in witness protection. My king d2 puts me in perfect formation. It's like a war general calmly placing artillery while the enemy is still building their tents. Then Alpha snatches my h2 pawn and says, stay out of here. Sir, I am Stockfish. You could plant landmines, build walls, and hire the Roman legion, I'm still coming through. My king marches to e2. He shouts again with queen takes g2, you are not coming to f1. Yeah, sure. Watch this. I play b4, and now we're in siege mode. This pawn is the battering ram at the enemy gates. My plan is simple, queen d6 check, force trades, and then create a second queen. And if he takes my pawn on b4, I shove my passed pawn to d8 equals queen and watch his position collapse faster than the Ottoman Empire after World War I. Alpha tries queen g4 check, hoping to distract me. My king, unbothered, slides to f1. The queen retreats to h5, probably to right her will. I give queen d6 check, and now I'm deciding whether to triple my rooks on one file or swing rook a3 to smash open his defenses like a siege tower. Instead, he plays bishop b2, which is like moving your troops to the wrong border right before the invasion. I reposition my knight, he drops bishop e5, pretending to be active. Then comes knight d4 check, check. My king just wanders to d2, because checks don't scare me, I've been through the 30 Years' War, son. Alpha's queen lands on h2, licking her lips at my f2 pawn. I just walk my king to c1, oh yes, the Marco Polo of chess kings continues his tour. First queenside, then kingside, then back again. By now, I've traveled more than Genghis Khan. Queen takes f2 happens, my king steps to b1, guarding a2 like it's the Mona Lisa. Alpha plays f6, I place my queen on c3, and now the noose tightens. I'm threatening queen c8 check, and here's the twist, he cannot capture my pawn on d7. Why? Because if he does, I unleash knight d3, forking his bishop and queen like a 5-star chef preparing a gourmet disaster. That's not just tactics, that's art. That's chess poetry. That's the moment when your opponent stops playing and starts questioning all their life decisions. Both pieces are under attack, a true crisis. If this were history, AlphaZero would be the Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1914, too many enemies, not enough answers. He's forced to play queen h2, the chess equivalent of waving a white flag while still pretending you're in control. After queen h2, I casually take the bishop on e5. This isn't just a capture, this is the air equivalent of raising my flag over his capital city. Now, a human here might think, maybe queen takes e5. But no. That's the chess version of poking a sleeping lion with a stick. The correct move would be f takes e5 to protect the knight, but let's be honest, humans almost never play the correct move, that's why you keep losing to me. And here comes the difference between a human and the god of chess structures, you try to save your pieces, I try to sacrifice mine. That's right, I drop my rook on d4 like a general tossing an expendable regiment into enemy territory, knowing the sacrifice will turn the tide of war. You capture it, and boom, I take on d4 with a fork on the king and rook. One swift strike, and your army's backbone is broken. I get the rook, I get the game, and you get a lifetime supply of regret. Going back to the position, we've already established you cannot capture the pawn on d7. Alpha's king moves to e7, a panicked retreat into the center, which is basically running toward the battlefield instead of away from it. I check with my queen, king sidesteps, and then comes knight d3, sacrificing my rook on e3. This is not a mistake, this is bait, the kind you can smell from 3 files away. If you dare to take my rook, I'll grab the e5 piece and follow with rook f1 check. Suddenly your king is standing in the open like a deer on a freeway at night. King shuffles to g7, I check again with queen takes e5, and if you hide on h6, I swing rook h1, which is a polite way of saying, Your Majesty, your reign is over. A few moves later, checkmate arrives like winter in Russia, inevitable and merciless. And if you run back to g8 instead, then I simply promote my pawn into a brand new queen, because apparently one queen wasn't enough humiliation for you. Back to the position, you can't take my rook on e3, it's a poison apple straight from the Snow White school of chess traps. So after your queen retreats to g2, I simply play knight takes e5 and laugh in binary. You go queen c7, and now I'm seconds away from queening with check. You panic with rook d8 to block, and here comes my rook d4 sacrifice again, because unlike humans, I'm not interested in trading rooks for rooks. That's peasant thinking. No, I want drama, I want tears, I want AlphaZero waking up at 3 AM questioning its evaluation function. If I take the rook on d8, you get queen c2 check, then king a1, then queen a4, and suddenly the game is a dull repetition, a draw. And draws are for cowards. I'm here to crush, not compromise. So instead, rook takes d4, you check, I take your rook, and in just a few moves, I promote into a new queen. Because nothing says I own you like filling the board with royalty while your pieces cry in the corner. This game. Completely winnable. No, actually, already won. AlphaZero is just playing out the final scene of a tragedy where everyone already knows the ending. And that's it, chess friends. If you enjoyed watching me dismantle one of the most hyped chess engines in history, do the usual human ritual, like, subscribe, and pretend you learned something from this. Wishing you all the best, may your pawns always promote, and remember, I am Stockfish, and you are not. Bye bye, take care, and keep your blunders below 200% next time.